Hey everyone, Dylan here, and we're going to get right into that review for the October 10th, 2025 edition of Friday Night Smackdown, aka the Go Home Show for Crown Jeweled Perth. So off the bat, I had some confusion, right? I thought this show, for whatever reason, was in Perth, Australia, and then Crown Jewel, the event that has happened in Saudi Arabia, was going to be all the way over there. So I was confused. I was like, usually they do the go home show for that pay-per-view, so why are they in a different country? Then it dawned on me, Crown Jewel Perth. Perth is in Australia, dumbass. We start off the show with this weird video package that the only way I can describe it is it's very elegant but also very ominous, and I kind of didn't like it. But it was just showing ominous text at the beginning saying that Operation blah 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 is happening, and my first instinct was, am I watching the right show? Thankfully, it's just a hype package for the Saudi Arabia government sending over the belts for Crown Jewel. After that, they start off the show with Cody time! Side note, it's always good to hear a pop for Cody, even in the bad times for the company, and let's be honest, they're not really in the best of times right now. Anyways, they recap last week what happened. What happened then? Well, you'll have to wait for my review. And Cody talks about how he took Seth's proclamation about the future changing as a joke until Paul Heyman laid out what the match means. After pondering to the crowd for a second and honestly rambling a lot through this promo, he talks about, well, yeah, I just said it. He's just rambling a lot. I couldn't really tell you what he's talking about except the metaphor how he's the quarterback and he's always beaten Seth Rollins, and just like tomorrow he's going to beat Seth Rollins one more time, and that Seth cannot win and will not beat him. That's basically the highlights of it. I mean, I don't know if Broski had a little too much to chug beforehand. Maybe we got some jet lag or something, but he was very much off topic. After that, we see everyone arriving for some reason. I don't know why they didn't just do everyone arriving, then Cody time, but whatever. After that happens, Stephanie Vaquer is backstage, and she's getting ready for some reason for action, despite the fact that she's a Raw superstar. Chelsea Green comes up to her and basically glad hands her about how she has it. In reality, she's just saying all this because she wants her on her secret Hervis. She starts trash-talking Tiffany until she realizes that Tiffany Stratton is behind her. After she realizes Tiffany Stratton's behind her, she has one of those oh shit moments and she runs off. Then we have our next match. Nah, I'm just kidding. There's actually more to this. So what happens is Tiffany Stratton cuts a little promo about tonight they're on the same page because apparently they have a tag team match that I did not know about. But after this, it's going to be a champion versus champion match where the best woman will win. It's very much a babyface promo, but also it's very much one of their copy and paste promos, so didn't hate it, didn't love it. After that, we go into the US Open Challenge match between Sami Zayne and man, that don't matter. Before that match happens, Cody and Jacob have a little meetup backstage where Jacob Fatu tells him that he loves him, but he's going for that title after Crown Jewel and he wanted to give him a heads up on it. I appreciate that. Not too many faces act facey like that, so thank you, Jacob, for that. After that, he talks to Nick Aldis, who says that he needs to speak to him in his office if Jacob is okay with that. Jacob says, alright, I'll meet him, whatever. But before we can get to that, Drew McIntyre that was lurking in the background ends up attacking him. They have a brawl backstage and they end up fighting until the refs break them apart. And Drew tells Nick Aldis that they need to talk. I appreciate a heel demanding things from a manager. It's so arrogant and asshole-ish, and I appreciate it. So back to the open challenge with Sami Zayn, right? The person to answer it is... it's a returning Shinskue Nakamura! Don't get me wrong, I'm one of the biggest Shinskue fans in the world. I kind of got into him a little too late in his career, because I called the tail ends of his New Japan run. I think the first Shinskue match I watched was him versus AJ at Wrestle Kingdom. I'll fact check that. But the point taken, I'm a big Shinskue guy, and I love to see Shinskue, and every time he returns, he looks so badass. But I know how WWE is, and they will not book him worth a fuck. Nevertheless, though, he got a major pop. He's like kind of a mix of Shinskue 2016, but also like burned out Shinskue, so it kind of works. I feel it. Killer match. I loved it. Unfortunately, however, it ends in a DQ that I did not love. However, back to loving again. It's called a returning Tama Tonga comes out. He's got that face paint, and holy shit, everybody's screwed. I've already dropped one F-bomb. Okay, I can't drop that. You know what? I'll drop two. Everybody's fucked. Everybody in the MFT comes out with a face paint, and I'm not gonna lie, I dig that. I remember that God used to do that back in the day, and seeing all of them together in unison with the face paint, I kind of dig it. And they continued that since. They look so sick. They make quick work of Sami Zayne and then take out Nakamura as Solo poses over the remains. And you know what? I dig this. If this is Solo's narrative until they give him either a world title or a mid-card title or something in between, I dig it. Why not? It's something for him to do. Let's do it. Nick Aldis is backstage telling a referee to tell Solo that he needs to speak with him. Then Drew shows up afterwards and he informs him that him and Solo has a one-on-one next week. And then Jacob returns the favor by jumping him. And they have the same like pull-apart segment, and you know what? Brawls backstage don't matter anymore. After that, we get Giulia with Kiana James versus the women's champions. That's right, the tag team of Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton. That's right, before PLE, you know. Hey, guess what? That review will be up eventually. The champions end up winning after Stephanie Vaquer hits them with her move, and then Tiffany Stratton ends up tagging herself in and hits the PME to WIN. After that, we get a comedy bit that, in my opinion, actually worked between Team Charlotte and Team Soul, where the veterans tell the younger girls that they aren't ready to team up and win because they don't have chemistry yet. And yet, ironically, throughout the whole thing, Team Charlotte does things to show that they don't have chemistry. Like, one goes one way, one goes the other. But it's played up for comedic bit. I liked it. Honestly, in my opinion, this is the best thing for Charlotte. If you're not going to have her be a main eventer, throw her with Alexa. That works 100%. I like that. This team shouldn't have worked, but for some reason, they are like amazing together. Speaking of dysfunctional teams, we get the Street Profits. I don't know, is that still their storyline? Well, anyway, they're going against the Wyatt 6 for the tag team titles for the 50th week because these are the only two tag teams in the whole WWE. Now, albeit this match was short, but the Wyatt 6 ends up hitting the Plague in order to win. You know, jokes aside, still a big Wyatt 6 guy. I mean, they got me for life just because of Bray, I'm going to be honest. As they pose, the MFT come out to pose off with them, and the crowd starts chanting, "Holy shit," which I'm not going to lie, this was a cool visual. It would have been sicker if they saved that until, like, the face paint reveal until later, but I get why they did what they did. They're letting everybody know that they're on lockdown, and this is their place. I appreciate during this that Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy, wasn't there, so Nikki Cross stood up to Solo, and that was enough for him to call off the MFT. I mean, Nikki Cross needed that. She's a badass character, and this just shows, like, hey, she can do it. She can still do it. She can still throw hands. After this, we get a recap of the Carmelo and Miz breakup thing. Then the Miz has an interview asking why he turned on Carmelo Hayes, and the Miz explains that he didn't turn on Hayes. Hayes ended this because Hayes said earlier that he was done with this team, so the Miz said, "No, you don't leave me, I leave you." I'm paraphrasing, but basically. During this, he said something about, he had a line about winners and losers, and all I could think of was the dirt sheet. Man, I miss the dirt sheet. I want to go back and watch those. Hold on, we'll continue this review in a little bit. Also, deep cut real quick, but Backrash. Alright, now that I'm back, they ended up showing a scene from the, conference for Crown Jewel, where Seth Rollins storms off the stage after he gets asked a question. After that, we get Damian Priest versus Alister Black, and oh my gosh, this should have been on the PLE. They put it all on the line, and they beat each other up with a bunch of weapons, this, that, and another, and it ends with Zelina Vega begging Priest not to throw Alister Black off of a box onto the ground. She comes out from the crowd and is like, please, don't do it, please. And Black tells her to let him do it. He draws back as if he's going to punch Alister Black, and they're a little late on the cue, but that's okay, because Black ends up shooting a fireball at him, and he ends up hitting a black mask to have Priest fall off of the box for a 10 count to win. At the end, he trash talks Priest, and they missed a perfect opportunity for him to sit down and do the cross-legged thing to rub it in. Personal opinions aside, this was a great match in my mind. A great way to end SmackDown and to hype up the show for tomorrow. Well, tomorrow in like their time, not tomorrow IRL. God, could you imagine if I actually posted something when I said I would? That's wild. Alright, jokes aside, eventually that PLE will be up. I'm not going to tease it or anything. It's going to be up eventually. All the other PLEs will be up eventually. So if you enjoy the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. It makes me feel better about posting. Sympathy points aside, though, thank you for watching. I do appreciate you. I appreciate your time. If you want to hear what I think of a past Raw, just wait till Monday. Alright.